Today, I'm going to explain a very unique 2017 film called The Shape of Water. There will be a lot of spoilers ahead. Let's get started. The story begins with the appearance of a young girl named Eliza. Eliza was deaf. There was a mark on her neck from an incident that had occurred with her. Actually, someone has extracted a body part from her while squeezing her neck. She is disturbed as a result of it and is unable to speak. Eliza is the only person in the world who does not have any family members. Eliza's next-door neighbor, John, treats her like a family member. Eliza works as a cleaner in a lab, while John is an expert painter. Emma, another cleaner, was accompanying her. They were good friends, but one of them dislikes Eliza and constantly calls her an idiot and teases her. Eliza, on the other hand, does not communicate with anyone. When Eliza was on duty, an officer arrives in their lab and informs them that a team is visiting. They're bringing something valuable with them. The item is both valuable and rare. This didn't show up in this lab until today. The team arrives with a water tank in a short time. There was something alive in the tank, and when Eliza approached it, it began making noise and moving. The team arrives and transports the tank to a safe location. Eliza was intrigued by this tank. The voices are heard the next day while cleaning the area where the tank was placed. They notice a man exiting the room, and he is a colonel. Colonel is a lone wolf. He is in charge of the entire project. They notice the colonel's hand is bleeding, and he loses consciousness as a result of the bleeding. Eliza and Emma were assigned to clean the room after a team arrived and took Colonel with them. While cleaning, they discovered two set fingers in the blood. These were the colonel's fingers, and the thing that brought them here may have cut them. Emma leaves for a task after Eliza's friend places those fingers in a packet. Meanwhile, Eliza notices a massive glass water tank. As Eliza approaches the tank, a creature with two hands and feet, similar to humans, appears nearby. Eliza places her hand in the glass, and the creator places its hand there as well, but Emma arrives with a man. When the creature sees them, it moves quickly. Eliza has seen the creature, and the next day, at lunchtime, she goes to the location where there is a large pool, the pool where the creature was. She's brought along an egg. She strikes the egg with the spoon, and the creature emerges from the water as she hears the voice. When Eliza notices this, she removes the egg's skin and offers the egg to the creature. But the creature is terrified of Eliza. It does not take the egg from Eliza, but when she places it on the wall, the creature picks it up and dives into the water. Eliza later departs from the same location. Eliza and Emma were summoned to the colonel's cabin by the colonel. He was the colonel whose fingers had been severed by the creature. The colonel makes them understand that your job is to clean the lab and that you will not be staying there afterward. We brought the creature here from a dirty place, and it can't be our friend because it's dangerous and dirty. That is why you will avoid that creature. Eliza, on the other hand, does not listen to him and returns the next day for lunch. She has brought a music system with her in order to generate voice. Eliza turns on the music and places another egg on the same wall. After a short while, the creature emerges and hears the music. It also consumes the egg. They continue to communicate through gestures. They became friends, and Eliza was relieved because she was alone in this world. In this world, she has two friends, her neighbor John and her friend Emma. She was overjoyed to have made a third friend. Eliza doesn't mind that her new friend is creepy and a creature. Eliza was overjoyed to have made it her friend. She visits it every day at lunch and has a good time there. They communicate with each other through gestures. A doctor conducting research on this creature notices Eliza and the creature together. He notices the creature is friendly with Eliza, but he does not tell her that he has seen and knows about them. Actually, this doctor was a scientist who was conducting research on this creature for the United States. The truth is that he works for Germany and was a detective during the Cold War between America and Russia. As a result, both countries spied on each other's political and scientific activities. The doctor was secretly relaying the information to Russia. The next day, Eliza returns to meet the creature and notices that its body has been completely changed. Eliza felt sorry for it when she saw it in this state because its body was also bleeding. When she realizes that someone is approaching, she goes into hiding. After some time, the colonel arrives and treats the creature horribly. He was wielding an iron rod and yelling at the creature with it. When the general arrives, he says, "I was expecting this to be a small creature." The people worship it and throw fruit and flowers into the water in its honor. The colonel claims that we must exterminate this creature because we cannot conduct research on it unless it is exterminated. According to the doctor, it is severely injured, and the strange thing about it is that it breathes from two places. That is why we should not put an end to it, but rather conduct research into it. The colonel is not convinced by the doctor's findings. The doctor explains to him that it has fainted and that it will die if we do not throw it into the water. They toss it in the water. Later, the doctor tells the colonel that he cannot end the creature, but the colonel responds, "I have the authority, not you. Don't tell me what to do. You begin your task. perform its postmortem, and learn more about this creature, so we'll know what this is as well. The doctor does not want to do this. He does not want to kill the creature because it lacks a tongue. The doctor is a detective, but we learn that he still has humanity. He feels sorry for this creature and does not want it to die. Eliza, too, hears all of this and becomes depressed as a result. Eliza returns home and tells John everything because she is concerned that they will kill that creature in real life. Eliza tries to communicate to John through gestures that it is similar to her and lacks a tongue. That is why I want to help it, because it sees no flaws in me and accepts me in any situation. John expresses regret that we were unable to save it because the powerful people possess the creature. In their eyes, we are just ordinary people. While saying this, John walks away. Eliza and John were both depressed as a result of Eliza's request for assistance. When John returns, he says, "I will assist you in saving that creature, and I will do the same for you because we are family." Eliza smiles and expresses gratitude to John. They devise a strategy for saving the creature. Eliza flips the cameras in the creature's room upside down the next day so no one recognizes them when they take the creature from there. Later, she loads many towels into a cart and transports it to the creature. The creature was chained, and opening it was difficult. Eliza panics when she sees the doctor because the doctor, too, does not want to end the creature's life. He hands her the lock's keys. Eliza unlocks the lock of the creature. This was an intelligent creature that comprehended emotions. Eliza loads the creature into the cart and proceeds through the tunnel. While Eliza was leaving, Emma arrived and discovered what mission Eliza is on. She stands in front of the cart and requests that Eliza refrain from doing so. Eliza tries to persuade her that if we leave it here, these cruel people will end it. Emma prepares to assist her after hearing this. They move forward, and John tries to enter, but the guards refuse to let him in. The guards mistook their ID for a forgery. The doctor assists him while causing him to pass out. Finally, they prepare to expel the creature. The colonel suspects something is wrong at the gate, but they have already left by the time he arrives. Eliza takes this creature home and immerses it in water because water is its life and it cannot survive without it. Eliza was pleased with the creature and decodes that she will leave it on December 10th because there is a chance of rain and she will leave it after the rain. The next day, she goes to work, and no one suspects she has been running that creature. John was spying on the creature at home, but John sleeps at a time and the creature flees. The creature kills a cat and John notices the creature eating. Owen forbids it from doing so, but it flees, injuring John. Eliza returns home and discovers that the creature has fled. The creature was scared, according to John, and the reason it ran there wasn't his fault. Bring it with you. Eliza goes outside and brings it back while looking for it somewhere because the creature has feelings. It was feeling guilty as it returned home. It places a hand on John's head and requests that he place a hand on its head. John also places his hand on the animal's head. John notices that his wound has healed and that his hair has grown. When John sees it, he smiles. Eliza and the creature fall in love as a result of their friendship, and they now love each other. They were in close proximity to one another. The general is shown warning the colonel that his professional and personal life will be destroyed if he does not search for the creature. Colonel becomes concerned after hearing this and suspects the doctor of fleeing the creature because he knows the doctor does not want to end the creature's life. The colonel is now making his way to the doctor's house. The doctor is shown meeting two people coming out of his house, and they fire bullets at him, but the colonel stops them before they reach him. When the colonel discovers that the doctor is conversing in Russian with those men, he realizes that he is a detective. The colonel requests that the doctor tell him who owns that creature. The doctor refuses to reveal anything, and the colonel tortures him for knowing the secret. The doctor informs her that she is a cleaner, and with that, the doctor dies. Because they were the cleaners, the colonel suspects Emma rather than Eliza when he hears the cleaner's name. The colonel approaches Eliza's friend and asks her to tell him where the creature is. She doesn't say anything and claims she doesn't know anything about it. But Emma's husband tells the colonel everything because he overheard everything while Emma was on the phone with Eliza. The colonel was on his way to Eliza's house when she heard this, but Emma called her and told her to flee because the colonel would be there soon to catch the creature. It was 10 December, raining, and the day Eliza would abandon the creature in the water. That's why she flees with that beast. When the colonel arrives at Eliza's house, there is no one there. The colonel notices the note written on the back of the calendar in which Eliza states that she will leave the creature in the water. Eliza had arrived at her destination and was saying her final goodbyes to her best friend. They were depressed because they knew they would never meet again after today, but if it did not go into the water, it would die. It advances, but then a colonel appears and looks at Eliza and that creature. They fall there as a result of it. The creature rises once more and approaches him before he refills the gun. The colonel notices that it has been shot with bullets, but it stands up again. The creature kills Colonel and drags Eliza into the depths of the ocean. It places its hand on Eliza's wound mark on her neck, and as a result, it transforms into gills, allowing her to breathe. Eliza is resurrected despite the fact that she was shot. Actually, this creature possessed numerous abilities, and Eliza was saved as a result of its abilities. They embrace, and the creature gives Eliza a new lease on life in the water. They enjoy each other's company and are in love. They had spent their entire lives in the depths of the sea. John was also pleased for Eliza that they had found each other, and this is the end of the film. Please consider subscribing our channel Cinematic Recaps.